Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome back to another episode here at Proficiency Bonus. My name is Matthew, your invisible dungeon master, because I have still forgotten to fix my camera on this one screen. So we're going to jump right over to our players and realize that I did not fix my transitions yet. You know, one of these days I am going to remember to do this. But as you can see, my name is Matthew. I am your somewhat forgetful dungeon master. As you can see, we do have a couple of people missing this evening, so we hope our two players do feel better and are able to join us again next week. But in the meantime, we're going to kick things off with a couple of quick announcements. I want to say thank you to Twitch and Streamlabs OBS. We use their software and platform to play our game, have a little fun. Also, a shout out to Little Dragon Corp up in Canada and Cardboard Castle Games down in Georgia. Put exclamation point Little Dragon into chat. It'll give you a link to their website. You can use the discount code PROBONUS, get 10% off your order. They will ship anywhere in the world as long as shipping can be had there. Now, if you live at the bottom of the ocean, probably not a whole lot of luck going there, but you never know. You can try. They might be willing to just tie a rock around it, toss it in the ocean for you. And Cardboard Castle Games, you will find all your Magic the Gathering and other fun tabletop games and things of that nature. No, I will not bring up the Pokemans because, Magic's better.
Well, you already did.
But with that, we will jump into last time, as our party has had a bit of a adventure, shall we say, in Silvery Moon. They met a leather worker. Some of them got some very nice new armor from Elor Vu from Essence Design. They had a somewhat terse conversation with Art's grandparents. There may or may not have been a kidnapping attempt, which was resolved by actually Art managing to break out somehow and the party making their way out. Art casts a shatter spell which ended up injuring, potentially fatally, two of the guards outside the gate as they made their escape. And eventually Art opened up a letter that they had received from their mother. There was some tears shed as Art learned that their mother was being held somewhere in a place called Mount Nevermind, and was unable to find a way to get home. And Art was advised that they would need something of their father's in order to be able to get there. The party has discussed among themselves, and barring any immediate ideas to chase down Art's father, they had decided to head down towards back to Waterdeep via the transportation circle in Everland, and from there head back down, basically past their home and back down towards Candlekeep to obtain more information on subjects that quite a few of them have, that they're hoping Candlekeep can shed some light on. And that is where we pick up tonight's episode. As currently it is the party's decision how they wish to proceed.
So we are currently still technically in Everland.
Correct.
Or, okay.
Yeah, you guys basically got into Everland, got yourselves a hotel room. That way, in case anyone needed to run and pick something up or do anything like that, as it was getting a little late when you arrived. Given the, I guess I should probably mention Snow Moon's very short journey into another realm, which Murdoch is almost 100% certain was the Feywild.
So certain.
But Snow Moon got lucky and got banished by the creature that he tackled through the doorway.
All right.
Yeah, so you guys are still in the hotel. We can, if you want to, we can say you're starting up first thing the next morning. Unless there's things
Yes.
that people wanted to do during that initial, when you guys first got that room and everything was sort of happening.
No,
Nope,
I
I'm
think
fine
we
with.
all talked it out, right?
Yeah, I'm fine with
Yeah.
it, with that.
We all talked about our feelings, got a little tipsy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's reconvene in the morning and make our way towards that teleportation circle and get our carriage back.
Okay, easy enough. Night passes for you without an issue. Everyone arrives downstairs in the morning to go through their whatever their breakfast ritual will be at this inn/tavern that you're staying at.
Am I able to sneak my way into the kitchen?
You can
And
certainly try to. Go ahead and make a stealth check for me.
Oh, I meant like not like actually sneak. I want to ask the chef if I could go into the kitchen and cook.
That's not sneaking. Why
Yeah,
did
that's-
you say sneak into the kitchen?
It's a Canadian thing, honestly. It is.
I want to sneak by going up and announcing my intention to the person.
Sorry, I forgot. You're supposed to just scream behind when you're in the kitchen.
Go ahead and make a persuasion check for me.
Okay,
Behind
where'd
with
all my
knives.
dice go? Cassiopeia, where'd all my dice go?
Your calculator is not going to answer you.
Let me just open my dice box. Okay. You said persuasion?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 15 altogether.
Yeah, he'll let you in.
Oh, goody. I'm gonna make these sweet potato pancakes,
Oh, okay.
and I'm gonna make enough for my whole table, and maybe some extras for the rest of the patrons.
Okay, go ahead and roll a d20 for me.
Okay. 19.
Okay. Yeah, so you spend a little bit of time in there. Is there anything the rest of you would be doing as you watch as Sarah sort of disappears into, has a quick conversation at the bar and seems to head back into the kitchen area?
No, just getting breakfast, but nothing in particular.
I think, yeah, Murdoch's just sort of waiting around. I think she's taken out the ring of power, and she kind of keeps turning it over in her hands because she keeps on thinking about attuning to it, but doesn't. She's
the
not.
ring that was in the bag of holding?
The ring that was in
Okay.
my bag of holding, yeah.
Okay.
I think she just takes that to make sure, like, she's still got it every now and then, so she's just kind of turning it over. But she's not making an attempt to attune to it.
Okay.
When Furia sees that, she remembers, and she hasn't had a chance to bring this up. Murdoch, something happened when I went to retrieve papers from the library. That man that came and asked me about those things, pointing at the ring you're fiddling with, he mentioned that there was 2 that he knew of already recovered. Wouldn't let me. He didn't tell me at the time which ones they were, but when I went back, he was there and sort of showing off one of them. Trying to remember what it looked like, but I think it was one of the ones that had to do with cold magic.
Let's see. Possibly the. What did this gentleman look like again? Was he elvish, you said?
I don't remember. I mean, he wasn't a dwarf.
It's,
That I suppose that narrows it down a considerable amount. I don't know how many.
so he did have
I think his
some
name was
elven
Joris.
features.
Half elvish. Maybe.
His name was Joris. It is. I know it started with a J. But he seemed very interested and wanted me to go hunt these things down and give him information, which I said if I would tell him if I found anything that's worth knowing. That I thought that it would be worth for him to know specifically. But so we can sort of count one of those out as not being the one I have.
All right. That is starting to narrow this down. I believe if you said it was one of the ones attuned to the cold, I believe there was one attuned to the plane of water that used cold, or was it?
It sort of had
Another one.
like cold, frost, ice runes around it, I believe.
Oh.
He was quite almost vain in showing it off, like. But I mean, it gives us information that he probably doesn't know we have.
Interesting. I wonder how many other people have been going about looking for these things.
Well, I mean, there was the man and Seawolf that knew what they were, which is in my notes. I also have a sending stone back to him. And this man, who knows?
I haven't decided to attempt to actually use this yet. It didn't seem in the research like there would be any repercussion for it, but I don't know if... Well, frankly, there hasn't been a need, but if it's alright, I'm going to continue to hold on to it.
You might want to be careful, though. Bringing it out might make it trackable, and I mean, with everybody looking for these things, it might not go down well.
Right, you all. Back in the bag it goes. And away it goes.
Okay. So, about the time as you guys are finishing up your conversation, Sarah, you've managed to make enough of those to actually serve your table and have another 2 plates left over for other tables.
I leave the extra 2 plates in the kitchen for the chef to make that decision. I'm focused on my party.
Okay.
I set plates.
And he goes in and he actually, as you're walking out with it, he goes back in and you can hear him taking a... Seems like he's taking a couple of bites and trying it while he's back there.
Breakfast?
What have you brought for us today, Sarah?
Sweet potato pancakes. A little something I used to make when we were on the boat, and we haven't had them in a while, and yes. I put the plates in front of everyone.
Thank you.
A moment goes by and the rest of you and Sarah, you would notice this as well. You can see the chef coming out with just basically the 2 plates lined on one arm, and he's going around to people. Seems to be charging a couple of copper each for each one.
I'm gonna make direct eye contact with him and like clear my throat a little, and then go back to eating.
Well,
I'll have one just to be polite, but I've already eaten a good berry for the day.
It's a start.
Okay,
shall we?
seems
Sorry,
that
yes.
watching that Furia is eating one. Lydia follows suit, and Art does not. As Art seems, you all have noticed over the last few days, Art's been a little, in their own head, which I don't think anyone is overly surprised by.
I'll save them for later, dear. And I'm just gonna take arts and do a little hobo pack.
Right.
Okay.
Shall we away back to Waterdeep?
Works for me.
How
Yes.
go then?
I'm ready if you guys are.
I think I'm ready.
I think we're all full and ready and not going to break the law.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Always a good plan.
Right.
Yes.
Usually goes without saying, though.
You think that, but we were pirates for a short while.
I was not. Never have been. Never will. Let's go. Murdoch's like, let's not talk about piracy.
You wouldn't down though the car, would you?
She's gonna go back to where we had teleported from when we first came.
Definitely easy to do. As the group of you leave the inn, start heading back up in Everland. And actually, do I have you guys on the... Oh yeah, I still have you on the regular map, the big map. So as you head back to Everland, head up sort of just slightly to the north and very so slightly west to Moongleam Tower. You'll see the two guards standing out front again. As they see the group of you approaching, they sort of start to almost like close off the entranceway, and then seeing Art flashes the pin, and immediately they separate, and you guys just head right in. Start heading back up the stairs. Again, you get to that landing with all the strange winged cats. They're just sort of hanging out in front of a door.
I'll wish them another cheerful good morning, as I did when we left this area.
And as you do that, one of them looks at you, your sort of cocks its head, looks at you a little funny, but one does sort of come up and just sort of rub against your calf a little as you walk by.
I'll give it a good ear scritch and keep going.
And eventually you end up coming back up to that set of double doors. You open the door, and that same gentleman is just sitting at the desk, waiting as the group of you approach. Art and this individual have a brief talk, and they go about setting the ritual to send you back to Waterdeep. A few moments goes by, you're all ushered into the center of the transportation circle, and once more you have that somewhat unsettling sensation of your stomach dropping out as the ground just leaves from beneath your feet. And a mere moment later, you feel yourself land back on terra firma, as you are now standing around the sarcophagus.
Oh, okay. It's a little bit...
within the crypt that you found the teleportation circle in.
All right. Well, let's not be too inconspicuous walking out of a crypt. And hopefully the door opens. I'll march up the stairs.
And as you approach, as you walk up, the door very easily opens back up. Go ahead and make a perception check.
Thank you. Three.
Looks clear.
Looks clear. March on out, I do.
I'll turn into a spider and sort of skitter out and find my way towards like a tree or behind another thing and turn back into myself.
Okay. Snow Moon Sarah.
I walk right out behind Murdoch since it seems like everything's all clear out there.
Okay.
What people gonna think? You know, it's fine.
I'm gonna wait a little bit because it might look a little weird for 3 people plus 2, 7 people exiting a crypt.
Clown crypt.
Just doing evil rituals in there. No, I'm not saying that.
Who's the 7th?
Blah.
I'm a spider too.
Us four.
And you've got a total of 6 party
That's only
members.
6.
And one
Who's
of
the
you's a
7th
spider, so
person?
there's only 5. So there are 2 mystery people who are apparently following
Sarah?
Sarah around.
The voice of the DM and my double vision acting up.
So as Murdoch and Sony, as you guys are heading out, everything seems fine. It seems like Lydia and Art are waiting for Sarah to move. You don't hear any
Well,
noise or anything coming from out there. It seems like you can hear Murdoch's voice and Snowman's voice starting to get a little further away as they're moving on.
So then I said
No, you're out of order.
every time.
Well, it seems that no one's been accosted by the guards yet. Let's go.
Okay, the rest of you leave out, and as soon as the last one of you is out, you hear that same as the door closes behind you.
Wonderful.
And you are back in the City of the Dead, in Waterdeep.
I believe we left the carriage at.
The unicorn.
That's what
No, we
were
left it
saying.
at the
There was
stables.
a carriage
Stable.
house down at the southern...
At the like the southern gate. I'm trying to remember what the gate name was.
The southern
Gavin.
gate.
We kept it at Althel's stables by the south gate. We just need to go down from the City of the Dead. We just need to take the high road, literally.
Yeah, quite literally.
Does anyone have any business in Waterdeep? I could visit my alma mater another time.
No.
No, not me.
All right.
No.
Yes, I don't need. I do not need to go visit my alma mater, which I don't even remember what it's called off the top of my head.
It doesn't seem like it was that important if you can't even remember the name of it.
I'm very old. It's been a while since I've been in school. I was just a little girl. Okay. Anyway.
So, are you guys walking it, or are you catching a dray?
I'm fine walking.
Let's just walk in.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
fine with the walk.
So it takes
Walking.
takes a little while for you guys to walk. It is starting to get like that mid-morning. You're starting to see rush again. You're on the high road, which is one of the busier thoroughfares through Waterdeep. So you're starting to see more and more people walking around. All of you go ahead and make a perception check for me.
16.
22.
Okay.
6.
6.
Hey!
Okay.
Old ladies, old ladies.
Oh, ladies.
Old ladies are in need of bifocals, I think.
Hmm.
So as you're making the way down, Snow Moon and Furia, you guys actually see a couple of, you recognize a couple of individuals wearing dark brown, almost black leather armor. You remember them from, well, it's only been a couple of days, but you remember them wearing something a little different, as they had been wearing the uniform of the city guard. Now they are wearing this dark armor, and as you're passing by them, they're basically coming up and they're turning down, what is the... They're turning down Bryan's Street off to the right from where you are. And as they're going on the back of them, on the back of one of them, Fury, you actually can make out this almost like an embossed image into the armor of this circle with these small, look like little squiggly lines coming off the back of it. On the back of this individual's armor.
Are any of them my buddies that had me join their club?
Unfortunately, you and Murdoch don't notice. And
Right, okay.
And Furia didn't
Old
see
ladies, old
Oh,
ladies.
ladies.
didn't see that part of the conversation.
Okay.
So she saw the guards as everyone got back together and you guys were all sort of going your separate ways. But she wasn't privy to who invited you to the little social circle.
Right, okay.
So I sort of like squint my eyes and look at them, kind of like, wait a second, like, just giving them a, am I seeing that correctly? Sort of glance. Did anybody else notice that as we passed by those guys back there?
Yes. Didn't we see those two as the city guard?
Yeah,
And now
they're not, or undercover, or something. I mean, they had that funny symbol on the back,
Yeah, I saw that too.
like
but
a
I'm not-
weird sort of sun thing.
I
Modak, you have a funny look on your face.
I mean, I don't know how much I know because I don't want to metagame.
I think we had you roll
But I
a
think
check
I
and you were
the
familiar.
spokes.
Yeah.
They're not either they're gods some of the time or they're not actually gods. Those were gang members.
What sort of gang? I've never. I haven't seen a lot of city gangs, but what gang has that weird sun thing?
Well, we should remember this, at least for Sarah's sake, because it is what you have the ring for. It is known as the Xanathar's Guild. Gang.
Group of people?
Yes. They'll call themselves a guild, but I don't want to give them the honor of such a title.
They give me money if I find cool things for them.
Is Xanathar a person? A place? A thing?
A gang?
Are they named after somebody is what I'm asking, Sarah.
I don't know.
Xanathar the leader or something?
I don't know the origin of the name. Maybe it's a person, either living or dead, a leader, a past leader, a founder, or some other thing entirely. I don't know. But they use a lot of symbology with eyes and the circle with the spokes. like a wheel.
I don't know. Kind of looks more like a sun to me.
Like a sun. Yes.
Like a child's drawing of a sun.
It's like a child's drawing of a sun, and that is what they are. Childish.
So should we confront them or just steer clear or what?
Oh, they're
Should we
long.
do
They're
something?
long gone down that side alley. But
Oh, Snow Moon, I wish I was like you and could just go fisticuffs in the name of street justice, but it's not the way. Not for me.
if they have armor with their symbol on it, I mean, they must be well organized.
Oh, they're all over Faerun, apparently.
Wonderful.
In fact, they told me if I was ever to try and report them, I may not show up again. Which is why I was trying to get the captain of the guard to possibly show me if he was part of the guild, because I don't know about you, but I don't really want to be part of it. I just want reward money for reporting them, and they did get me out of that small bind that one time.
I was in the process of getting you out of that bind. We didn't need to make deals with people that we don't know exactly what the repercussions of. But water under the bridge.
Artemis
Yes.
joined the harpoons.
Harpers.
The Harpers work for the benefit of people. The Xanathar's Guild work for the benefit of the Xanathar's Guild.
So do they pose an immediate danger to Waterdeep, or are they just after money or something else?
Think of it more as like a mob or a secret police double agentry, bad but good. I did get
If they're
out of.
impersonating a city guard, it's not healthy for the city.
Oh no, they are city guards.
That's probably what they told you to make it look better.
They
I mean,
could
if they're a
very well
guild
be
that
both.
steal for themselves, I mean, they could tell you anything.
They
That's
could
my
very
take on
well
it.
have inserted themselves in the guard.
We did go to a town where most of the council was actually hobgoblins. I'm just saying, maybe organized politics are a little bit.
That does remind. That does remind me. Well, first off, to answer your question, Snow Moon, they are technically actively a threat to Waterdeep, but to threaten Waterdeep, they would have to be a lot more serious. They're more of a nuisance at best. Waterdeep has plenty of defenses. We are going to be passing, if we're heading south of Waterdeep, we will be passing through Daggerford again. And then I believe we're just going to continue on the Tradeway. So, there may be time to check in with various things on our way down. But alas, we have a schedule. We don't have a schedule to keep per se, but we should try to be prompt.
I
There
agree.
is a woman kidnapped. I think that makes a schedule.
Very fair. Let's retrieve our carriage. And yeet on out of here.
Okay, easy enough, as you guys have sort of been having this conversation as walking anyway. So you do arrive back at Athel's stables. And see your carriage seems to have been well taken care of. Once everything looks okay, your driver is still seated at the reins, ready to go.
Oh, that must have confused them so much. Well, it's fine. Okay. Everyone say goodbye, Waterdeep.
Goodbye,
I'll perch,
Waterdeep.
I'll perch myself on top of the carriage as usual, as we
Okay.
make our way out.
I climb in.
I jump in as well.
As a group of you head in and start making your way out, back down towards Daggerford. So as you are moving down, let me remind myself here. Yeah, so it's gonna take you just shot in like a day and a half to get down to Waterdeep from Daggerford.
Other way around, but yes.
Yeah. Yeah, so take you about a day, just shy of a day and a half to get to Daggerford. So are you guys going to just keep riding through? Are you planning on stopping and setting up watches, camping out for a night?
I'm
Given
fine
the
to
number
camp
of you could
again, yeah.
push through it, but you wouldn't. Well, actually, Furia's sort of laying up on the roof. I'd say Furia might potentially be the only one who would be able to get a decent night's rest. The rest of you, just given the size of 3 out of the 5 of you who are inside there wouldn't really be a good spot for you guys to sort of like lay out or anything like that to get a good
Clearly,
night's rest.
Artemis and I lay horizontally across Murdoch, Snow Moon, and Lydia.
I think we should still just do regular camping.
It works for me.
Yes,
Okay.
Probably just
I'm
pull
fine
up to the
camping
side of
again.
the road, where we see a good spot and just camp there.
Easy enough to do. Okay, so who would be taking watches? Would all 4 of you be taking them, or would you have Lydia or Art take 1 or 2?
I would take a watch for sure.
Okay, anyone else?
Uh,
If not, we can give it to Lydia and Art, but...
I'll
take a watch.
I'll take a later one because I can see in the dark.
Okay, so we got Murdoch
Yeah, same
taking
here.
1. Okay,
Snowman
Snowman, you said you
like,
take 1?
started off.
Yeah, I guess I'll take either first or last, whichever is, has the most light.
That's about the same. And then, so Sarah, you're not taking 1?
no.
Oh, okay, so we said odds is Art, evens is Lydia. Okay, so Art gets last watch. Okay, so I need a perception check from Snowmoon, Furia, and Murdoch.
I got a 16.
Okay.
Murdoch.
I got an 18.
14.
18, 14. Okay, just give me a second. I'm grabbing Art's character sheet here to find out what Art had. So that roll, the modifier might matter. Oh, whoops, and I just realized, Sarah, do me a favor when you have a free moment. Just let Art know, let Baron know I apologize. I just realized I did not respond to their message.
I shall.
Okay, and come on, where is... There we go. Oh, yes, that modifier did matter, and that helped. Okay. So you guys go through the evening, and what we got up is Snowmoon takes first watch, and we have Furia, then Murdoch, and then Art taking up last watch. So the watch seems to go through with without any sort of issues. You guys hear a couple of like random noises, like small critter things that probably startle Murdoch and Snow Moon a little more than they would Furia, just given the amount of time that you've spent outside outside in the woods.
Yeah.
But yeah, it seems to pass without any issues. Morning comes, the group of you start. Well, as the group of you start to wake up, day seems to be nice and clear. Looks like it's going to be easy riding. You should be in Daggerford by a little before lunchtime.
I'll pop myself a good berry, offer it around, and hop on the carriage. I'll toss one out.
Okay. Oh, easy enough as as you make your way, continue on down towards Daggerford. Is there anything anyone else would be doing as you guys are heading down?
Is there another
Just
guy?
enjoying the breeze on top of the carriage. Fresh air, freedom, space.
Oh, isn't that nice?
Okay. So, as you're heading down and you get... You guys at this point are starting to now see the city walls off in the distance a little ways. All of you go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Ooh. 19.
Dirty 20.
Okay.
I don't see it.
No, but luckily, everyone else hears it. So as you're coming down along this path, and you're getting a little closer to Daggerford, there are, and I'm actually going to shift you over to our original map that doesn't have that sort of eastern area on it. And you're getting a little closer. You are down roughly in come on, zoom in a bit so I can shift ping this better. You are getting down around here. Oop, that's not my shift pinger. There we go. So you guys are just getting near the city when all of a sudden those of you who basically everyone except for Murdoch hears the sounds of a bowstring.
I lie flat back on my back just in case it's aimed at me. Because I don't know where this thing came from.
Who's ever next to me, I'm gonna pull them down.
Oh, okay.
Murdoch?
I'll just kind of like perk up a little bit as I hear it.
And once the sound is ended and I time it out, I'll sort of put my head up a little bit, like, where'd it come from?
As you're looking around, you don't see anyone around there. But you do see, as you're starting to pick up and look around, about maybe 30 to 50 feet in front of you, there is a rather it looks to be a very oversized arrow with what looks to be some sort of parchment wrapped around it.
What do you mean, like, oversized? Like...
So picture a standard arrow. Like, let's say a standard arrow, for argument's sake, let's say it's 12 inches long. And is, big around as your pinky. This thing is probably about 2.5 feet long and big around as your thumb. It looks almost, I won't say a ballista bolt because that thing is much larger, but it looks like
That
this
ladle?
thing is designed It's designed to make sure when it hits, it pierces. And it is currently stuck into the remnants of a tree trunk. As those of you who are now have heard that, and Murdoch, you're aware at this point that something's going on. Is Sarah just grabbed your head and yanked you down?
Yes, I've been tugged.
I'll slow the horses down and sort of bring them to a slow walking stop. Just head on a pivot, see if I can see anything else dangerous, other than the arrow stuck in the tree.
Go ahead and make another perception check.
$24.
Okay. As you're looking around, you don't see anyone. So you don't see, you can't even see, like, there's no other carts heading from Daggerford. This area is fairly open. It's not like you're in a heavily wooded area. You really don't have any idea where this arrow came from. But again, you heard a bowstring, and then you heard the sort of thump when it hit.
I'll jump off the top of the carriage and sort of peek my head, still sort of looking around, but sort of off to the people by the window that I'm nearest. I don't see anybody. Somebody fired a very large arrow at the tree over there. I'm going to go check it out. Keep an eye on my back, maybe? But there's nobody here. I don't understand.
Yes, I didn't see anyone who may have fired it either, but I'll come with you and I'll watch your back.
Oh, do be careful.
Thanks,
And,
Murdoch.
and both of you be careful. Both of you be careful.
Good save.
Yeah, I'll sort of walk gingerly over to this arrow stuck in this tree.
And I'll like mirror Furia, but I'll walk backwards, kind of looking off to where the arrow may have come from.
Watch your six.
So, easy enough to do. So, as you're getting closer, I'm going to actually pull this up here. Okay. So, yeah, you, right up in front of you, you just planning on taking the parchment off of it?
If it seems easier to take the parchment off of it than to pull the arrow out of the tree, I would just unwrap the parchment.
Yeah, as you're looking
sort
at
of
this,
checking out to see if it's, like, I don't know, booby trapped somehow.
it doesn't look to be. It looks like the parchment is just rolled around. When you get up and you're looking at this arrow, you can see it does have a metal tip on the end of it. And the only reason you know it's metal is you have two little prongs that are sort of barely sticking out of the tree. So you think you might be, or the
deep in there.
trunk. It's whatever shot this thing. It had some force behind it. As you're looking at this piece of parchment on it, it looks like it is basically they have on the shaft of the arrow. It looks like there's just a small piece of wood acting as a stopper to keep it from sliding back and forth. So the parchment is right up near the arrowhead. So it looks like it doesn't seem to be booby trapped, even just looking at it. I think the only real way, though, without having the strength to pull it out, would just be to unwrap the parchment.
It does have fletching on it. It's not like a crossbow bolt.
Yes, it does appear to. It just appears to be a very oversized arrow.
Okay. Yeah, I'll slowly sort of either unroll or untie the piece of parchment off of the arrow.
Easy enough to do. It takes you probably about 30 seconds or so. And there's
once that.
Oh, go ahead.
Once that's done, I'll start walking, like look around again and start walking back to the carriage.
Oh, okay. Easy enough to do. You don't see anything out there.
I'll unscroll it and start reading it.
So as you
when I get
unscroll
back
it,
to the
there are
carriage.
no words on it. There's a single character.
Darn it, another piece of. Oh, lovely.
And I'm going to share an image that
People would just say what they meant.
and for those of you
But a picture's worth 1,000 words, don't you know?
this, for those of you who are in roll 20, is what you see.
So, not having seen this before, I'll sort of. I'm not sure what this means. Does anybody else know what this means? And I'll hold it up and show everybody.
I'm gonna raise my hand.
Oh, this is your thing, isn't it?
I'm gonna point to the burn on my hand.
Oh.
I'll hand it over to you.
So, is this meant to be a warning?
I don't know, but I do know that letters aren't usually delivered with arrows.
A very high-powered arrow. I'm not sure what this shot this. It's definitely not a normal bow or crossbow. But maybe we should talk about this in the safety of the city.
Perhaps.
Yes.
All right. Well,
I climb back on top and start the horses going.
it was clearly meant for us.
Yeah.
I don't know why they
I'll
keep
jump back
sending
on.
these. I mean, this is the third or fourth time they've given me this. I know. I have it.
Is there any magic coming off of this? Is there something more to it that we're not
I
seeing?
also
Or-
would like to note the direction of where the arrow came from as we are moving away.
That is a good question. Artemis, is this magic?
Hold on. Okay, where is what I'm looking for?
Artemis is like, this is all you want me for?
All you want to ask me is this is magic.
Is it magic? Is
We'll
it
buy you more
magic?
candles.
Well, no one asks, how is magic?
I did once. It didn't go over well.
Okay. Fair enough.
So it came, as you guys were heading down, it came from the southeast.
Of magic.
Misty Forest direction-ish.
Let me jump back
That
on
is
my
the
map.
south. East, yeah.
Yep, Misty Forest direction.
Love that.
Yeah, so I'll be squinting
Love that.
sort of in that area as we get closer. But I'm really not expecting to see anything new.
Feria, do you think you should maybe come into the carriage?
They're after
Away
you, not me.
Arrows.
And whoever shot that arrow, it seems they put it exactly where they wanted to. So if they wanted to hit us, I think they would have.
Someone wants to shoot Feria, then Feria can shoot them back harder. I'm quite sure.
Have you seen
Alternative
this thing on my
there.
back? I'm not carrying it around for show.
So a short while later, you arrive within the city walls of the city of Daggerford.
Yay.
Yay, we're back.
Love it here.
Guess who's back?
Okay. All right.
So you guys are, as you're riding in, you guys are actually coming through. Let me bring you over to the map.
This is just like we met in a tavern, like top 20 reunion, like best towns that you've visited.
I love
Reunion
this clip
tour.
show.
Let's just hop back on a boat.
You can do that
For
too.
old time's sake. For old time's sake.
I mean, technically we do have to do that.
Oh God.
So So you guys are coming in through the northern gate, which is 11 on the map. You just passing through, or you got things you want to do? Murdoch said they may want to check on some things.
I do have something I would also like to do.
You
But
go.
Murdoch can go first.
No, you go first because I confused Daggerford with Secomber. I've never been. I don't have any business in Daggerford.
Wait, isn't-
Murdoch, this is where
I
we
have
met
been.
you?
No, I've been here. I meant I don't have any thing that I think I need to
Business
do. Yeah, I don't think I left any business in Daggerford. I just. got
I would
confused
like to
with
sort of
Secomber.
go, I guess, over to the market area. Sort of by myself if I could manage it, sort of sneak off. And I would like to look for the pie children that were here previously and see if I can find that little boy that was showing off his coin disappearing skills from when we were here the first time.
Oh, okay. So go ahead and make a stealth check for me if you're trying to sneak away.
Due to the child area.
Nat 20. So that would be a 23 total.
Okay, I don't think... do any of you have a passive perception that high?
No.
No.
I think Lydia has the highest passive, and I think it's like a 17 or an 18.
Yeah, I know. I think she was just under a 20. So yeah, no, you are an archer in the wilderness. No one sees you.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can spot the boy or the person that he was with. I guess it was a girl.
Yeah, it takes you probably about 15-20 minutes. Again, trying to move, following Sarah's lead, so to speak, and sticking to the shadows and trying to make sure that you're not noticed. But eventually you find yourself down at that southern portion of the market, and you do in fact see the two of them there. This time they do not seem to have pies with them this time. They seem to be various different citrus fruits are currently sitting on their stand. But you do see the two children.
Good morning. How much for this orange here? I'll pick one off the top of the pile.
No, one copper.
Only one copper. Well,
Yes,
must not be a very good orange then.
we ask what we can get for you. Welcome to give us more if you'd like to, but most people around here don't have much.
I put down a silver and I start eating the orange, like peeling it, but slowly, conversationally. So I appreciate you telling us where that temple was last time we were in town. My friends and I believe, caused a little bit of trouble. You might have heard of the bear in the market.
You can see he gets a little bit of a grin on his face as you're saying that.
I hope not. I hope your stall was all right and all of that.
He just sort of shrugs. Don't think he made it down this far, but
That's good to hear. That's good to hear. But after that whole thing, we left quickly to go up to Waterdeep, and I met somebody that shared in your ring interests, if you know what I mean. And I would like to know a little bit more.
he starts looking down a little bit, and you see him glancing down at his hand a little bit. What is your passive perception?
16, I believe. Yes.
Okay, let me just check here. Okay. Let's see. So he's looking down after a couple of moments. He seems to look almost past you. Gives a little nod of his head. And all of a sudden you notice a hand coming out of your coin purse.
I would like to grab the wrist if I can react fast enough. I'm not sure.
As you notice it, you can see that the hand is coming out empty and is literally holding it up. It seems to be that they were more making you aware that they were there than anything else. As they look at them, just sort of go and step back. And now the
you would get a lot more if you could just ask.
And he looks down at his ring a little bit and says, "So, what do you want to know? What you looking for?"
I want to know if it's something I might want to be a part of. I haven't really been able to get much, and I'm interested.
He sort of looks around a little bit. And you can see now the two of them as they keep sort of glancing at each other and giving you a once over.
I eat a piece of orange, it just...
It takes a certain type to do what we do, but I mean, if you're not above nicking what you need, we're always looking for people to sharing information, sharing what they've managed to lift. And you said you were up in Waterdeep. You must have heard about the trouble going on up there with the Xanathar people then.
We ran into a couple of those as well.
Trying to push us out of our territory. Someone's going to have to deal with him. But that'd be a way to make a name for yourself with our organization. But, so, I gotta ask, what makes you want to join?
I'm looking for something to do in my spare time. I'm not the most sneaky, but, some good looks here or there could get a person a long way.
Go ahead and make a persuasion check for me.
Ooh, I'm not very good at persuasion, actually.
I respect this. I mean, I don't. But I do.
I know Murdoch is also against the Zentarum, but that's a 16.
Okay. Well, let's see how well you can do here. So, you're back in town. How long are you going to be here for?
Honestly, I believe we're just passing through.
Oh, well, where are you heading to next?
I believe we're making a stop in Baldur's Gate.
Oh. Then we got a proposition for you. Bear with me a few moments, and he turns around and grabs the girl, and the two of them go wandering off for a couple moments, and you can see them, they duck down in one of the little side areas and start sort of just winding away for a few moments. As they've left you sitting there, we're going to jump over to the rest of the party. Where would you guys be heading off? Actually, before you jumped off, where would you have been telling the driver to go?
Before I left, I probably would have just pulled up somewhere. I'm not sure if I would be driving through town or if I would pull up beside our old inn that we were staying in before. I'm not sure the best place to park here.
Okay, so you would just have them stop somewhere?
Stop somewhere so we could do our business and then move on later.
Oh, okay. So yeah, then we'll jump back over to those to the remaining of you as the carriage has stopped. And what would you be doing?
Big glasses.
What? Why are we stopped? Fury, Fe- where'd Feria go?
Oh,
Feria
where
said
did
that
Furia
she
get
had
to?
She said she had business.
I guess she went to take care of it.
Do any of you have business?
No, I don't really have anything.
Well, the last thing we were doing here was the whole gray creature problem, and we sort of solved that. Didn't really solve that.
No, it was solved. It died. Was killed. Turned it in.
Shoot.
Killed by its master. But
Yes.
Do you think Delphin knows? Do you think the people... I want to know if we have reward money waiting for us here, or...
I believe we were rewarded with the carriage and maybe some gold. But I'm quite sure we're sitting in the reward.
It's all very fuzzy. I just remember unleashing the bear. And
Mhm.
the owl. And then there was that man I stabbed.
I think some of this is new to me. Just a little bit. Do you want to go check in with Delphin? Either of you?
No, I'm very good with not talking to Delphin.
Well, how about a little... If Furia is going to be doing something, why don't we take a little bit of a lunch break? And we go somewhere. Maybe... I don't know. Snow Moon and I, maybe we could go get some tea. Somewhere. Do you like tea? Do you know of a good place?
I like tea just fine. I don't really know anywhere
You
here,
know,
but
I think I remembered something. Lydia, Artemis, let's go to that place and not get tea. You two have fun.
like, "What are you talking about, Granny?"
I
Oh,
push
you don't-
Artemis and Lydia away. You two have fun with your tea.
the rest of you don't want to join us? Okay.
No, I'm going to go find those children with the pies.
I'm just imagining a little short person pushing a big tall for a walk down the street, like back at the cafe. Like, how does this work even?
Like a child trying to push a entertainment system by themselves.
Lydia, the entertainment system.
This is
I
what
love
happens
it.
when you're not here, folks. You become furniture.
Let that serve as a warning.
So as Snow Moon and Murdoch start bending over and heading towards a place to get tea, Sarah, Art, and Lydia... Well, Sarah is attempting to push and drive Lydia away. With Art, I think, would at least somewhat pick up on what you're trying to do. So we're going to jump back down to our two younger friends as they come back around to the stand to the Furia. And they have what looks to be a small box. I said, okay, here's how you're gonna show your interest to the group. We have here this little box, and as he sets it down, you can see there's a lock on the there's like a padlock on the front of it. We have a delivery we're supposed to be making to a friend of ours, actually, down inside Baldur's Gate, and it was going to cost us a decent bit of money to have to pay somebody to bring it down there. So if you're serious about joining us, organization and you're heading there anyway, you can just take this with you and bring it to Kaylin One Eye.
Where can I find this person?
Oh, when you're hitting you gotta be careful when you're down in Baldur's Gate, because they're a mite, shall we say, peculiar about their laws. They're another one like that, like those people up in Waterdeep. If you do something funny, then they're not too liable to take lightly to you. But if you're heading in there, you can typically find her. She likes to frequent a shop called the Sorceress Sundries. It's located over, as you're getting down there, it's located by the Eastern Gate. Now, as long as you deliver this, well, I should say if you don't find her there, she can also be found in a tavern that's, well, you're going to get used to a place like this if you're running with us. It's called the Hanged Man. It's a bit run down. One might even say, condemned, but they've never done
Best way to
anything
stay
with
out
it,
of the eye of the public.
for some reason, they just don't bother to enforce it, so. As long as you ain't one of them stick in the mud types, you should be fine in that place. They're a law unto themselves. But you bring this, you get it to Kaylin One Eye, and she'll get you into the group. Get you one of these nice shiny rings, too.
I can trust you're not just getting me into a bunch of trouble.
No, because I'm trusting you with, let's just say this is paying off a debt to Caitlin. So the only way you're getting in trouble is if you don't deliver it.
Well, the other side of that is if I do fail, I just fail. I get nowhere.
Sure.
I will pick up the box and put it in my bag of holding, and finish up the last pieces of my orange, and take the peel, and head back to where I park the carriage.
And as you're popping that last piece of your orange and you turn around, you can see a very slow-moving Lydia. The head keeps turning back, and you can't hear what she's saying, but you can definitely see the mouth moving as she keeps turning back and looking down. Seems to be heading your direction.
I'll, go in their direction. Lydia, what's going on? You're being pushed? Oh, hi, Sarah. I didn't see you there.
Hello.
What's going on?
I am setting Snowmoon and Murdoch up.
Such an honest answer.
They are going to go get tea, and I brought these two to not be a... Well, I don't want to say the third and fourth wheels. Fifth wheel...
You're going to be somewhere else while Murdoch and Snowman have a date?
Yes.
Lydia, why are you not going along with this? Did Sarah not explain herself?
You're muted, DM.
Thank you. Had to happen eventually. Lydia just goes,
If you go back to that tavern that we, did the thing at last time.
Are you going to mess with another crypt?
I don't intend to get drunk this time.
Okay, but before we go, I want to find the. Here they are. Where are your pies?
They do sell really good oranges. I picked one up on my way by.
Oh, I haven't had fruit since we went to that one grove with the tower and the fellow who melted into the floor.
Okay, so
many things.
as you're heading up this way, then coming up, Sarah, are you still wearing your ring that you were given?
I think I am, yeah. Hello, little ones.
I'd like to
As you-
stand behind Sarah and sort of just wink and point at her and just.
Yes.
Go ahead and
Yeah,
make
sure,
a
yeah.
go ahead and make a persuasion check, and I'll say because you're agreed to help them out, you can have advantage on it.
Persuasion, that is a 14.
Okay.
Yeah, 14.
Okay. So the boy that you have been talking with, you can see rage in his eyes as he is looking at her. And looking at you, and then down at her, and then back up at you, and then down back at her. But eventually gives a very very sort of just barely holding it together, just like. So it turns, mutters something to the girl, and then goes and walks back, and the girl comes up to you, sir. Oh, yes, we do have quite a bit of selection. It is 2 silver a piece.
I break out in a big grin.
Oh, that's just fine. 3 of the. I'm gonna look at Lydia. 4 oranges, please.
Yeah, so she takes the or goes down by and gets out a little bag and starts putting the oranges in and holds it up to you. 8 silver, please.
I give them a gold piece.
She looks at it, and bites, and makes sure it's real. Puts her up. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, dearie. I'm gonna pull an orange out for Art and myself, and then give the last remaining oranges to Lydia.
Oh, okay.
Feria, hold this for a second, will you? I'm gonna take my ring off and just like hand it to Feria. I hate wearing jewelry when I get my hands dirty. You know how it is.
I take it and I just sort of cup it in my hand. Put my fingers over it so I don't drop it, but
Yeah.
just sort of hold it out here.
And then as some of our party begins to snack down their oranges, we are going to start to pan over to Murdoch and Snow Moon. But before we find out how their afternoon tea is going, we're going to take our break here. So we are now just about at 9:30. So don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be back in just a few moments to find out how. I'm pretty sure Murdoch is figured out what Sarah has done. I don't think Snow Moon knows yet, but
We're just
No
getting
problem.
tea.
And
Yeah.
everything-
Hand a couple Dragon Ball, just get some tea.
not according to the halfling.
Oh!
But with that, we'll be back in just a few moments, so don't go anywhere, folks. back, everyone, as we have topped off beverages, taken care of what we needed to, and we are back. And as some of our party is purchasing some discount citrus fruits, we're going to pan up to Murdoch and Snowmoon, who have left the carriage where Furia parked it, to go find a restaurant or tavern to get some tea. Takes you guys probably about 15 minutes or so to arrive at a location. You guys would probably, let me see. Alright, you guys would probably have ended up at the, what is it called? At the River Shining Tavern. It's a larger establishment right in sort of near the center of the town. It's number 24 on your map, so right here. And as it is still a little before lunch, the tavern's not all that busy currently, so you guys are able, the two of you are able to get in, get a table. Place you are, and you've got a few moments before your tea arrives.
Nice to get out of the stuffy carriage.
Oh, yes.
Things have already changed quite a considerable lot since I've met you all here in Daggerford.
Yes, we've certainly gone through a lot together.
And it seems like you all went through a lot, considerably so before then as well.
Yes.
Half it. Just okay.
You kind of cut in and out, sorry.
Oh, I said, how are you doing with all of it?
Oh, I'm fine. I mean, it's whatever we're required to do as a party. I'm willing to take on.
You're very, very, very loyal to the party. You're pretty much willing to do anything.
Yes, it's just how I've always lived. Whatever the party needs, whatever the kin needs from me, I'm willing to play my part.
I think that's very noble of you. I mean, is there anything in particular about the party that makes you act that way, or is that just the kind of person that you are? Are you just a very loyal person?
I think it's just the way I am. I mean, I like our group a lot, but I don't think there's any one thing about us that makes me act that way, no.
I think that's totally fine. It's I mean, I've tried my best to piece together from what everyone said, like, not a timeline of sorts, but just sort of, it's a lot more than just we met in a tavern, it seems, there's a lot going into it. Were you on your own for a considerable amount of time before you met everyone else, or was it sort of just right into it?
It was there was some time between when I left my clan and when I joined up with the rest of our party. It wasn't an extended period of time.
Well, that's good. I can imagine that. We are not creatures meant to travel alone.
Yes, that's true. I Dragonborn have, as you know, always depend on their kin. And I've I don't mean to be insensitive with this question, but I notice you are not 100% Dragonborn. You have different heritage as well.
I do. I'm really surprised that no one. I guess everyone is quite rather polite, and I don't take offense to it.
Good.
I mean, I know I asked you about your history with your clan. You were not inclined to speak on it, and I will not push that again. But, I do realize that no one's really asked too much of me. I talked about how my parents, my mothers were from two separate clans, and
Mhm.
they fell in love, and they left their clans because of it and tried to start on their own in Baldur's Gate. Um, of course, then that brings about various questions of how exactly I come to be, because there was no talk of a father in that scenario or anything of that sort, so it raises
Yeah.
some questions. Um, well, it is it's simple and it's complicated, which I'm sure you can probably relate to. In the simplest sense, um, I am not fully dragonborn. I am a tiefling.
Okay.
Um, and the reason for this, tried I tried to ask. I tried to get a straight answer, and I didn't really quite get one. And it has
And
sort of been.
was your parents that you, or
My parents were both dragonborn,
oh,
but I said that one of my mothers had passed fairly early into their lives. And then I was mostly raised by my one mother and then took care of her in her old age until she eventually too did pass. So there was one that I knew much better than the other. Um, it wasn't really until my remaining parent was on her deathbed I wanted to know the truth. And as she explained it to me, for whatever reason, I still don't know the reason, my other mother had made a deal with some other being. I don't know if this was to allow me to exist or what other possible reason, but I'm here. I am a tiefling, and I think my one mother passing early is because she had a debt to pay.
oh, so you're and you work now with interplanar entities and deals, like deal making. Mm,
I do.
Is that why you're pursuing this? If if you don't mind me asking.
No, you're very right. I've made it my life's work to both make sure that others do not fall into the same dismay that my family did. And I was always told that they were very happy. I was told that they had everything that they ever wanted, but I don't I don't know if that was true. So, I try to help others from going down that path, and eventually my goal, though I'm starting to run out of time, is I would like to renegotiate that contract from so long ago. I think that whatever debt my mother is paying in whatever place she has ended up, I think that it's probably been paid. And I could not reunite them here on the material plane, but wherever they are now, I want them to be together.
And you're still trying to find out who your mother's made this deal with?
There are many, many devils and demons out there, and they keep their information very close to their chest.
Hmm.
I have researched into my bloodline as best I can based on speaking with other tiefling families and whatnot. I know that my particular tiefling bloodline is through the line of Zariel. But that is merely one ring of the hells. And I think that may be where my mother is.
I mean, is there a way for people to go between these art between planes and like I don't like what can you do?
You did it just a few days ago,
Yes,
and you've all been doing it. Time and time again, I think. So when the paperwork came across my desk that there was a group of very well-armed and honestly legally dubious individuals that are seeming to find themselves being able to cross the veil on multiple occasions, well, I must admit it was not all out of goodwill that I took on the job.
no, that's nothing wrong with that. I don't think.
Well, it's very hard to be like, "Hi, I'll be your lawyer. Come to hell with me." That
Yes, that's
is
true.
that is what I would call a big ask. But I still have time. Some.
Yes, maybe. I mean, if you feel comfortable talking with the rest of the party about it, we could try and see if there's any way we could help.
The time will come for it, I believe, and now you can understand why I'm so vehement about helping Artemis now.
Yes.
I think too many people lose mothers. And I'm not about to let them be the next. I've gone and toddled on for too long and my tea is cold.
Ah, yes.
On brighter topics, I appreciate that you're so loyal.
Oh, sure. It's not a problem.
You've done something that I think has taken me several decades to be able to do, which is I think you found your place.
Yes, I think I would agree with that. At least I feel like I sort of lost my place when I was exiled from my clan. Trying to find a new place, but I think I think I'm on the path.
Well, hopefully, now, in your age, you can see that perhaps something that was bad in the moment ended up being the push that got you where you needed to be.
Yes, maybe.
And, I'm happy to get to say that I have a place in the group with you.
Yes, you are definitely welcome and are one of us.
I hope the talk wasn't all dour. I hope it was. I hope get understand me a little bit more. I feel like I talk so much, but perhaps maybe I don't actually talk too much about myself sometimes.
No, this was I think I did learn more about you, and it was nice to get to know you better.
Hopefully, when we're not fighting things and saving people's family members and getting strange symbols and all of that, maybe I can get to know you even a little bit better sometime.
Yes, I think we should do that at some point.
Very agreeable to me. Very agreeable indeed. Well, we should probably go make sure that they're not burning down the market or whatever they might be getting into.
Yes, or unleashing another bear throughout the town center.
Please, not another bear. At least a saber-toothed tiger. You know, keep it original. she'll stand up and kind of like dust her suit off. The two dragonborn, you know, just the two babysitters of the group plus Furia.
I'll finish off what's left of my tea and prepare to leave.
Okay, so as the two of you start heading out to head back towards the marketplace to find the remainder of your group, we're going to pan back down to Sarah and Art and Lydia, who are currently having some oranges. So you said you're breaking in, peeling them, and eating them right now?
Yeah, and I handed my ring off to Furia to hold.
Oh, okay. Go ahead and do me a favor, roll a d20 for me.
Okay, let's see how many oranges I ate. 15.
15
Okay.
oranges.
15.
What's your con modifier?
Constitution. -1, so 14
14.
altogether.
Okay, good to know.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Well, you're not going to get scurvy.
14 oranges.
I think that might be the least of her worries after this.
So these kids, did they put something in the pies?
There's no
Is
pies.
that like no? But the last time when there was pies.
The last time Sarah gave them 6 gold pieces because she's like, oh, they're children. I bought 6 pies, and then the pies were just garbage.
Ah, that's right. I had
They just
Okay,
really, yeah. they
okay.
just-
Snowmoon was like, you spent 6 gold on this.
It was like dates or prunes or something weird.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
like
it was-
dates and vanilla or something. I don't think these kids can actually cook. I think they might be children.
Yeah, so tastes like an orange. Seems like you're okay. Anything else you'd be doing as you eat your orange?
You know, my Albert, he once ate 7 oranges in one sitting. And I told him, I said, Albert, I need the zest for my turnovers.
Give
And
me the zest.
you know what he said to me? He said, Sarah, the peels are right there. And we laughed, and I made him go buy more oranges. It was a wonderful Sunday.
The peel's all right there.
Okay. So, as you start doing this, affair after they buy the oranges, the two of them, again, the boy looks over at you a little bit as the girl's over sort of dealing with Sarah and the others. He gives you a little bit of a grin and then sort of a half nod at your bag. Then he looks over at her, the girl, and sort of gestures away, and the two of them sort of fall back. And, she's very polite, saying thank you to Sarah and the others, and two of them pick up the last of their wares, put in a basket, and seem to be taken off pretty quick.
Yeah, I'll give a slight nod back in their direction and just follow along with my party.
You know, they've really cleaned up this marketplace since the accident.
I was actually talking to the orange sellers, and they said the bear didn't get down this far. I was wondering how they were doing.
That is good.
As soon as Sarah's done the orange, I'm going to plop the ring back down in
Thank you.
her direction. I wouldn't want to lose it, but hold on for it yourself.
Honestly, at this point, I don't know if I should pawn it. I feel like it would be needed if we wanted to pull a fast one on the Xanatharums. Do you think if this has been ample time for Snow Moon to have whisked Murdoch off of her feet by now, or do you think we should give them another hour?
How long has it been?
DM, how long has it been?
It's been
Looking up at the sky.
You guys have probably been between those of you sitting in the cart for a few minutes afterwards. It's probably been about a half an hour or 45 minutes.
I'm thinking another hour, but
We really should be moving on, though. So why don't we go and see how they're doing and then go from there? Because we do have places to be.
We do.
Sarah, as you're looking at Fury and starting to say that, she's really starting to move around a little bit.
Feria, stop moving.
As you're looking at her and she's like...
I am standing perfectly still.
Feria, you're moving too much.
And then Art and Lydia start being like, yeah, you look a little like you're a little all over the place. Is the two of them you're noticing are starting to sway just a little bit?
Feria, all three of you need to stop moving so much.
I think it's Sarah. You are feeling all right. We're standing still. You're sort of. Maybe we need to go, and I start pushing everybody. I'm not sure where Murdoch and Snowmoon went, but I start pushing. Lydia, where did they go off to? We need to head over there now.
I actually don't think anyone knows where they went off to. As everyone sort of splintered their own directions.
Oh, we left them to their own devices.
Well, then we're going to go back to the cart, and they'll meet us there. And just is Sarah stable and able to walk straight?
It's straight, not so much. She is basically seems to. I'll call it she's drunk without being drunk. She's just a little woozy or dizzy on her feet, as is Art and Lydia.
I have a bunch of drunk companions. Great.
And
Are they all about the same at this point, or is one doing a little bit better?
Actually, you know what? If, Lydia probably would have eaten both of those oranges where they were bought from somebody and wasn't cooked. So they're all doing about the same as Lydia makes her
Oh, great.
save on the second
Lydia
one.
had 3.
Oh wait, she had 3?
Sarah bought 3 for Lydia.
Oh. Okay,
Oh dear. Would she be able to eat 3 in this? I guess so. In 45 minutes, you could eat 3 oranges.
oh yeah, easily, yeah. So yes, no, she does fail the second one or the third one as well. So she definitely seems to be a little worse off.
I start like mother sheepdogging everybody. Like, okay, no, over here, and back towards the carriage.
What if we hold hands?
I think that's a bad idea.
Stop having hands.
I'm just moving people in that direction.
Artemis, you have too many hands.
Sarah, go ahead and make another Constitution save for me.
5 minus 1, so 4.
Oh gosh.
As you're walking, and Furia, you're the first to notice this, as it seems like everyone is starting to get a little, like they're not sort of stumbling around quite as much. It seems like they're getting their feeding back, and all of a sudden you hear Artemis let out a shout.
I look over.
And right as that happens, Sarah, at the same moment, the world goes dark.
Well, it finally happened. I've gone blind.
Both you and Art are now blind.
Well, this is amusing. Maybe it's a good time for you guys to hold hands now. And I sort of like pick up one arm and pick up the other arm and join them together.
Artemis, is this magic?
And I'm continuing to push them all towards the cart as we're going as best I can.
I'm sure they're having a fine time.
I'm not panicking, I'm just sort of pushing them.
Yeah, Lydia is still stumbling around a little bit, but she apparently did not lose her eyesight when the others did.
You guys really should be more careful on who you buy food from in the future.
Feria,
Cold.
Feria, did you do something to the food?
No,
Payback. I said I was sorry about.
I hold up my orange peel and then realize you can't see it. It's like, no, I bought orange from them just before you came along. You just picked bad oranges.
You're a druid. You probably made that orange.
I can't grow oranges. I can grow flowers.
And what do oranges come from, Feria?
I mean, there are flowers on orange trees, but they don't bloom into oranges. That's not how that works.
I can't hear you very well right now, dear. I've gone blind.
I'll go find your glasses if you want them.
Am I not wearing them?
Can you tell?
Ow. I'm wearing them.
I just like double over in laughter on the street, leaving them to their own defenses as they're blind and wondering.
Feria!
I think that's negligence.
Feria! Oh,
not
now
the
I've gone deaf.
I eventually recover and start pushing everybody back towards the cart again.
Feria, that is you moving us, right? Or are we being kidnapped again?
I don't know if anybody would want to kidnap you, honestly.
I'll have you
And if they
know,
did in the
I
morning
was-
when they saw your face, they would totally just return you.
I'll have you know, I was the most expensive ransom of my town when I was a toddler.
What? What are you saying?
They called
It's
me
not nice
the
to make a-
platinum baby for 3 years.
Just shaking my head and it's just all right. Come on, it's not nice to make up stories.
No, if I could see, I would direct you to a. We're not banned from this library, right? This town's library I'm allowed to be in.
I don't know if we visited a library here.
Is there a library here?
About that time, Murdoch and Snowmoon, you could hear this conversation happening as you guys have made your way back to the carriage at this point. And you can see their two rather diminutive friends, Sarah and Art, elbows linked. It looks like Furia has been crying. Lydia looks a little inebriated. Like, she's walking like she's drunk, but she doesn't have that sort of drunk look in her eyes.
You're
Ink,
muted.
you're muted.
Did you all go drinking? It's like, I don't even know what time it is.
We had some bad oranges from a orange seller. My orange was perfectly fine. People just can
I
not
was going
pick
to
a
say,
good orange.
you look like you're fine, Furia, but
Oh, I'm having a great time. These blind people can't
They're
see.
blind?
oh, you're blind.
I just motioned towards Art and Sarah. Like, see for yourself.
I feel weird.
If you would mind helping me get them back to the carriage, I'm sure once Lydia recovers, I'm sure she can help out.
The pies we bought from those fine children were wonderful. I still blame you. You and your orange
Why?
making.
I didn't make any other oranges. You brought up and picked an orange out of the bowl.
And I remember the pie I got from them anyway was not very good either, so
Alright. I. Pie. Snowmoon, you're going to have to tell me about the pies. Can you help? Well, I guess Lydia can see. I'll get. Sarah, come to my voice. This is Murdoch. Put my hands on your shoulders. Can you get
guess-
off this?
yes, I'll get Art. Like, Art, come this way. I'm gonna.
We're connected by the arm.
Don't do that. Stop. We're separating you. I'm just gonna pick you up. Okay.
This is still Murdoch, right? I didn't
This
get
is still
kidnapped.
Murdoch.
You know, when I was a toddler, they called me the Platinum Babe, and I was.
Furia, open the door.
What?
Open the door.
200 Oh!
Make a dexterity check with disadvantage as you can't see it coming.
It's a gentle toss onto
Okay, I got
the
one.
bench.
With disadvantage, I got a nat 20 and 18.
Oh.
As Murdoch just lightly sort of tosses you in the door, you manage to hit the seat and just sort of roll and find yourself sitting against the window on the other side of the carriage. Somehow.
I love when a plan comes together.
I'm in the carriage, right?
Yes.
All right, Art, stick your hand out, and I'll take your hand. All right.
And Art just randomly,
All right, I'll grab Art and start to walk towards the. And once we get up to the carriage, like, all right, I'm gonna pick you up and put you in the cart now. All right.
and they'll nod and
Yeah, and then I'll pick Art up and sit them down in our cart.
okay. And then Lydia sort of stumbles her way over and manages to. Yeah, she manages to get her way into the cart without too much trouble.
Proud of her.
Still stumbling a little bit that first, walk up and just hand up on the cart and the whole thing started going. Leads a
Hello,
little bit.
Lydia.
And the rest
All right,
of you.
are we all set to move on to, I guess, Baldur Gate, but probably our house first?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
next
it's all on
stop
the same
house.
road.
Yeah, next stop the house, and then after that, Baldur's Gate. My goodness.
Yes.
Do you think
All right, I will tell the carriage to start driving towards our house.
Okay. So, easy enough for, as you all get situated back in your respective seats and spots within the, within or on top of said, brain freeze, said carriage and start making your way home. So you have a good bit of traveling ahead of you in order to get back down to the house. Whoops! I just hit a button and left the thingamajobber. Sorry about the music, folks. It'll be back in just a moment. So you guys have it's about 480 to 490 miles to get you down to back down to your house. So it is going to be a few days on the road. Anything that any of you would be doing during the trip?
does my sight come back?
Hasn't as of yet.
Ooh.
It's going to be about 6 days to get to the house.
It still hasn't come back.
Yeah,
You
I
guys
don't
have
have
just
any,
left the city at this point, so
I don't have anything that I would want to do on the way there, other than practice my flute, which I haven't gotten to do in a while.
Do you have you're proficient in the flute, right? You're not learning proficiency with the flute.
No, I am proficient in the flute.
Okay, because I would show someone if they wanted to. I will spend this time. I wish that Para was here for it, but Murdoch is going to start teaching Artemis Draconic.
okay.
Or Infernal is what Art wanted to learn. Sorry, Infernal.
Okay.
So Murdoch will actually Murdoch will explain. So for everyone, because I think I'm the only person that speaks Infernal. So, everything in the Hells works on a caste system, including their language. So Murdoch will explain like different levels of different castes of demons, or devils. Pardon, they're not demons. They're devils. Use different levels of speech in their caste, and certain higher levels are not ones that can really be uttered by humanoid creatures. We don't really have the throats for it and all of that. I know up to the 3rd caste, so that is what I'm going to be teaching you, Artemis. You'll want to have a lot of water and or milk nearby. You want to have a lot of phlegm in the throat for this, otherwise you're going to run yourself hoarse. And I will continue on from there.
I would also request, I forgot about this, that Art read, use the spells so that they can read any language, and see if they can read those books on changelings. That I don't think anybody has read those yet. If they decide they have time on the way between
Based on the
language
first day,
studies.
they don't, because they're
Okay.
blind.
Oh, right. Well, if they get better, then I will
Yeah.
ask. But
Lydia does
If they
say
get
that the
better.
next day, she can prepare a spell that should hopefully be able to reverse the effect.
Wonderful. Perfect.
But that is the next day.
I believe I can do that as well.
I
But yes, I would have to wait a day to do that.
And on the ride, I would just spend some time writing in my book that I acquired a little while ago.
Okay. Okay, so as it comes to the end of the first day's travel, are anyone taking a watch? Or I should say, are those of you who can see taking watches.
Well, now that you
I-
mention it, I would
I
like.
will. I will. I will take a watch.
Yeah,
sure.
I will. I will too.
Yeah, I'll take the all. Fury and I can probably do the middle of the night ones, and
Mhm. Yeah, I'll take first.
and then
first,
maybe
maybe
Lydia can finish it
Furia,
off.
Murdoch. Then we'll give Lydia the last one. Okay, so if the three of you can go ahead and make perception checks for me.
I'll just I was gonna say, just since he's taking the first one, I'll just say, Snow Moon, I really did mean what I said earlier. I'm happy to be a part of the group. I'm gonna give you a bardic inspiration, just because I haven't been tossing those out. So you can add a D8.
I got an 18 for
Comes in
perception.
handy because I only had an 11.
Okay.
I should start probably doing that. Well, most of the time I'm asleep. Otherwise, I would give it to everyone. But Snow Moon.
Alright, so
I'll
that
give
is
you.
a 14 for me now.
Okay, and what's yours, Murdoch?
Mine is also an 11. I cannot inspire
Okay.
myself.
So as you guys settle down for the first night's rest, a Snow Moon, the first watch seems to go by without really any issue for you. You do hear again those sort of a couple of odd noises here and there, but nothing really getting close. Nothing seems to be getting closer to you. And then as you wake up, Euphoria, and Euphoria starts taking her watch. And Furia, eventually you actually start to hear something. You hear voices. So they are coming to, as you guys are heading south out of Daggerford. You can hear sounds coming from, it seems to be, I guess the best way I can call it is, think of it sort of like a bonfire or a keg party. There is some noise coming probably about 150, 200 yards off to the east of where you are. Heading over in that direction, the trail seems to give way to these sort of low rolling hills that run just south of the river. It sounds like there is something going on over that direction.
I would like to sort sneak over there, see if is there like a fire glow, or is it just voices
So
that I can hear?
As you start heading over that direction, go ahead and give me make a stealth check for me.
17.
Okay. Yeah, easy enough for you to start heading over that direction. As you sort of creep over, sort of up over the first small hill and get near the top, you can see as you crest that hill, there is a slight glow of fire. And it sounds like there's probably about 7 or 8 people down there. And some of them are laughing. You can sort of make out, like people are talking, but you're still a little too far away to make out what they're saying. But you can at least differentiate that there are different voices.
All right. I would get as close as I think safely possible without being seen. With the hills and not really any cover.
Okay.
Is there grass or something on the ground? What is the terrain like here?
I'll call it sort of overgrown grass. It's not like a wheat field or anything like that where it's like real tall. It's probably about, maybe anywhere between 6 to 8 inches tall where you are right here.
All right, then I'll get as close as I think, and then I would like to turn into like a garden snake.
Okay.
Just a harmless snake, and get close and maybe see what these people are. Obviously, they're having a party and not trying to stay quiet. I just want to make sure that they're not going to be a threat in the future. Listen into what they're saying.
Yeah, as you creep your way over to them, and it takes you a little while to squirm over there on your belly, but eventually you make your way to them, and you start to be able to make out more of their conversation as you're getting closer to them. And you get in and you can hear that they are discussing in a somewhat recent disturbance in Daggerford.
More recent than us?
And then you hear talk of them being sent out to find a halfling.
Oh, a halfling
as-
again.
And as you're sitting there and listening in, and again, you're small enough where you can sort of see as one of them, goes down and pulls up and they're laughing, and hold up, looks at one of their buddies and goes, look at this thing, 500 platinum. This ain't gonna be nothing, eat cakewalk. And rolls back up, sticks it back in the pouch. They go back laughing again, and oh man, how come whenever it's gonna be the elderly they send us out? Can we ever have anything with a little action, man? You hear them going back and forth a little bit. And it's,
Is that piece of paper look kind of like something you would nail up on a notice board, like wanted poster, or is it more like a more private, something you would give to a soldier sort of thing? Can I tell?
Not at this distance, as he was holding it facing away from you. So
Okay.
it's, it might be something they would tack up somewhere. You wandered through the market, though. You weren't really looking for anything like that. But at the same point, you think if there had been a picture of a specific halfling, that you think that would have been something that would have caught your eye.
Well, I would hope so. Plus, our own halfling was wandering around the market in broad daylight and nothing happened.
Yeah.
So, I mean, seeing as how they're probably not going to be a danger to us, or at least we'd hear them coming, probably I'm going to slither back to a safe distance and then go back to our watching over our party.
Okay. Yeah, rest of your watch. Again, you can hear them for another, probably a good another like 30 or 40 minutes. And then the voices start to slowly die down and it seems to get a little quiet. Then your watch comes to a close. Time to wake Murdoch. Would you let Murdoch know what was going on, or?
Yeah, I would let Murdoch know what's going on.
Oh, okay.
Just in broad strokes, like where they were looking for a halfling, probably not ours.
All right.
But just keep an eye out in that direction.
How far out?
200 meters. Feet.
Okay.
One of those things.
All right.
200 cubits.
They were making bananas. They were loud enough that I could hear them all the way here. I don't think they're trying to be sneaky. They think it's going to be an easy job. They talked about somebody elderly, but I mean, our own halfling was wandering around in the middle of the market, and nobody said boo.
Yeah, they're just reveling in the middle of the. I guess
They
I
seem
mean, I
very,
guess-
very confident, but they seem to have gone to bed. Just
Alright.
keep an eye out in that area.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you for letting me know.
No problem.
So, rest of your watch as you're going through Murdoch and keeping an eye over that direction. Anything you would be doing, or just sticking with your watch?
I'm gonna go over there.
Okay. Trying to be quiet about it, or
I'm gonna, because Furia said they've gone to bed.
it's
I stopped hearing voices, so I'm assuming that's the case.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get. Yeah, no, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'll try to be relatively quiet.
oh, okay.
I'm a little bit. I've never gotten to be. I want to be nosy for once. I want to be nosy for once.
Okay, go ahead and make a stealth check. And I will say, given that they are currently unconscious, you do have advantage on it.
Okay. At advantage, it'll be a 16.
Okay. So let's see here. Okay, so as you make your way over, and again, taking your time, making sure you're staying quiet with it, you do see, again, as Fear's giving you the direction, you sort of crest over that first hill, and you can see what at your best guess would be basically the embers of a campfire starting to go out. You do see a couple of, I don't even really want to call them tents. It's more like they just took a stick, stuck it in the ground, and ran sort of a sheet over it. They've got this little, like, sort of triangle.
Like a tarp.
Yeah, basically. That looks like each one of them is laying, so their upper body and down to about their waist is underneath this thing. Yeah, they are all sort of laid out and just relaxed. Seem to be snoring, not a care in the world.
They don't even have a guard.
Not at the moment, at least not that you can see.
And how many of them are there?
As you're looking, well, actually, go ahead and make a perception check, because I know what your base was, but now this is something a little more specific.
The perception check's only a 9.
Oh, okay. So
I don't see today.
As you're looking down there and realizing you left your bifocals in your tent,
I need to
you can see
stop doing that on watch.
5 people.
Okay. Here's what I'm gonna do. Here's what I would like to do. I would like to get within 60 feet of their little tart. And I would like to get Jeeves, create my unseen servant, and I would like him to just, Jeeves, can you please just make sure to see if they have any like paperwork or anything about the job that they're doing. I'm feeling a little bit nosy today. Could you please just go look for me?
Okay.
He is invisible, makes no noise, formless.
What is the does that spell have a verbal component to it?
I think it's mental. I think it's mental commands.
No, I mean in the initial casting.
To initial, yeah.
To cast it, there is verbal components. I'm 60 feet away.
Yep.
But yeah, there are some verbal components.
No, okay. So they, even with you talking from that distance, nobody notices, and they're still there. So go ahead and make an investigation check for me. And where this is your unseen server, we're just going to use your stats for it, because you probably have a bonus to it, whereas the base creature like that wouldn't.
Just a straight 10.
Oh, okay. So it takes probably about 20-25 minutes before you start to see a couple of just sheets of paper seemingly start to float their way back towards you.
I love you, Jeeves. You know, I don't know what Hex did without one of you. I don't know how I'd never thought to do this. Hex uses you all the time. Let's go back. And, I don't know, you can fold my clothes or something, since I still got you for like minutes. Come on.
So eventually you make your way back to the camp. Everyone still seems to be snoring away.
Let me take a look at this paperwork. I love paperwork.
As you start to unroll it, it is in fact an image of Sarah's face.
She got lucky, or they're following us.
Underneath it, you also see the 500 platinum. And then
Okay.
you also see, as a brief description of the older halfling and explaining basically what she looks like. And then in the lower section of it, where normally you would see someone like, per magister's office or whoever was responsible for putting this out, you see that same emblem again. The emblem burnt into Sarah's hand on the arrow that was shot in front of the carriage.
I don't want to take up too much more time. How much time do we have left? Because I have a little plan, but...
And you're asking about for us this evening? We've got just about a half an hour.
Okay. I keep this party safe. Very sorry. Sorry that this is all happening on my watch. I'm sorry.
Murdoch, I'm still awake. I just sort of snoozing. I was about to come after you. You took us quite a long time. I hope you're all right.
I forgot the elves. I was talking to myself. I will show you the paper.
What you would both notice very noticeably from it is there's no status. Like, it doesn't say wanted dead, wanted alive, wanted dead or alive. It's just the amount and the description of her.
It is Sarah.
At least it's not the city of Daggerford.
Mm.
Or the Lord's Alliance.
No, but it is the symbol again.
But
Like
they
the
also,
arrow.
from what I heard, they think it's a joke, almost.
Maybe, but the arrow when we were entering Daggerford and now this as we are leaving, I'm wondering if they're following. I was going to try and, in case they were, I was going to try and maybe mix them up a little bit.
Are you going to put that back? Looking at the paper. They're going to probably notice that it's gone.
I'm going to hand it to him. And because we are going to be very good friends when I give it to him, and I'm going to give him some very useful information about where I last saw her, far, far away from where we're going.
There was more than one person at that campsite.
That is true. But they also, from what you said, seem to be very vain. I'm hoping that perhaps maybe one little seed, much like what I did back up north, that one little seed can sprout and get its roots into a lot of things. But if you're awake, I wouldn't mind a lookout.
I can cover your watch, or do you want me to cover your back as you go over there?
I would prefer someone to watch my tail. There's the hill that overlooks it, so you could probably remain completely out of sight with your bow, just in case, but I don't plan on this turning violent.
I can do my best. I sort of, do a once-over of the area, just to make sure there's nothing else going on here. And how close is it to the next watch? How much time do we have?
At this point, probably, say maybe another half hour, if that.
I'll go quickly.
All right, I will be your backup, and I'll do a quick stealth shuffle after Murdoch.
Going to return to their camp.
Easy enough. If you're staying back on that first hill, you don't even have to make a stealth check for it where they're asleep at this point. You're not getting close enough to risk it, and it doesn't sound like Murdoch's planning to stealth into their camp this time. So
Right. And I will have a bow shot at the ready, just in case.
okay.
I will say I'm going to try and get within 30 feet without just barging in. So I want to get fairly close. Closer than I did last time.
Go ahead and make a stealth check for me then. Again, you still have advantage because it's still passed out.
Natural 20. 22.
Okay, yeah, you are fine.
Other
Real
one's
quick,
8.
as you're heading up that direction, just want to say thank you to So Maddie Games for swinging by raiding with a party of 7.
Oh, hey,
So-
thank you, Raid.
Thank you very much for swinging by and seeing us this evening.
Watch me do some messed up magic on these fools.
So yeah, you have made your way. You are now within 30 feet of the first individual. So as you're getting in there, they are a little spread out sort of around this slowly dying campfire.
Okay. I am within 30 feet of that first man.
Yep.
This does not require him to hear me. I'm going to cast Charm Person on him while he's sleeping.
Oh, okay.
So he's going to make a wisdom save. DC 15.
Oh yeah, no, he's not making that. That's an 11 on the die, and he does not have a plus high enough.
Sorry. COVID stuff. So he's charmed. Murdoch is going to go up to him and just sort of wiggle his little boot and be like, "Hey, bud. Hey."
As Nazareth over here. Oh hey, how you doing? It's been a minute. Why are you?
It's been so. I
It's
just
too
saw it.
early.
I know. But hey, remember this? And I'm gonna hold up the
500 platinum for her.
easiest money.
So what about her?
I know where she's gonna be.
Where?
They are doing a big old loop around. Okay? They're going to be looping. They thought that something was up in Daggerford, so they're going to loop back around and go around the outside, and they're cutting right back up to Waterdeep. They're going right back to Waterdeep.
Man, that's. Oh, I gotta. They'll shoot me if I wake him up this early, but we gotta get going.
They're not. I think what you should do, just give them a little bit. You think of the plan, because if you can stop them in Daggerford, I mean, the biggest, the biggest share should go to you. Because you thought up the plan. Just say that you went and scouted them out a little bit, and then you just say, "Hey, let's double back to Daggerford and let's wait and let's see if we can set up something a little bit on the way between Daggerford and Waterdeep." And you're in the money.
It's. Platinum would really come in handy too.
Yeah,
You said they're heading back to Waterdeep?
they're looping around. I don't know why.
I mean, she's ancient. She's gotta be addled in the brain or something.
Yeah, I think she may have some friends back there that she's gonna try and ask for help. So you want to stop her on the way?
Yeah, we don't need to. Yeah, we can't let her can't let her get away. Can't let her get away.
Who are you turning her into again? Are they back up in Waterdeep? I don't remember where they are right now.
Oh, have you been away that long?
Yeah, I've been really busy.
Oh, they're down or lumber. They got all that stuff going out of there, and the ships, the whole work.
All right. Well, that money's as good as yours. I like poke him in the chest. Here.
Oh, okay, yeah, get them before they get to water. Yeah, okay, I gotta come up with something. You can see
I'm so proud. I'm so proud of you.
Oh, hey,
I really
I couldn't do it without you. You're giving me the information, so.
It's because you helped me all those times in the past. Don't think I ever forgot about that. I'm gonna roll up the piece of paper. I'm gonna give it to him.
Oh, hey, but once this is all over and you're back in Orlumber, stop by, man. I'll give you a little bit. Well, if I haven't spent it all, but I'll give you a little bit.
I mean, I gotta go back to Baldur's Gate. I got something. You're gonna be big in the money. Can I actually just have a bit of coin for the tolls?
Oh, yeah, I think I guess I don't know. Takes a couple minutes, goes into his pouch and pulls up and actually hands you 2 platinum and 8 gold.
I kiss him on the forehead. Golden heart you got. Thanks, man.
I'm about to have money, man. It's real money.
You're about to have the life-changing money. All right, get some sleep. Early start in the morning, okay?
I gotta get it real early.
Right.
Sort of rubbing his head a little bit and then puts his head back down.
Go back to sleep. Love you. Love you, man. Have a good
see you in Orlumber. Yeah, Orlumber.
All right, we'll see you in Orlumber. Bye. Head back up the hill.
Like hanging up an awkward phone call.
Yes! All right. They're gonna go back to Waterdeep. I got some free coin for the tolls in Baldur's Gate, and I know that they're from Orlumber.
Oh, that's very interesting. That was one of the jobs we got. It was Succumber, Olumber, and Candlekeep. So we will be heading there after Candlekeep.
Right. Well, we will cross that bridge when we get to it. Thanks for watching my back.
No problem.
And we can go back to camp.
And as you guys get back to camp, it is literally just skating in towards the end of your watch. And get Lydia up. Her watch seems to go without any issues. I should say, Murdoch, would you let Lydia know about the group at this point, or?
Yeah, just, they've already gone to sleep. They don't seem to be any issue. We're just gonna make sure that they don't come up close to the camp, okay?
Yeah, she'll
No worries.
keep an eye over, keep a watch on everything. And yeah, her watch seems to go without issue as the morning comes to. For the majority of you opening your eyes to see the sun starting to creep over. Unfortunately for Artemis and Sarah, their eyes open and it is still darkness.
Did Lydia take that spell?
Yes,
or
Lydia
do
will
I need to? Okay.
Lydia will prepare the spell.
All right.
And actually, let me just make sure if there's any... Okay, so there's no material components that she would need to have on her possession. So, as Sarah and Art sort of, I'll call it drunkenly stumble out of their tents as they get see, Lydia will come up and, taking a couple of seconds, will come up and basically, index and pointer finger and just sort of go on each, touch on each of their eyelids, casting Lesser Restoration. And Sarah, you are now able to see again.
Oh, thank goodness.
And the sun does hurt a little bit as
Oh my goodness.
it's like it's like sitting in that pitch black room and then somebody walks in and turns a flashlight on your face, just like.
Would you like my sunglasses, dear?
Thank you.
My
I
shades.
think I actually might close my eyes.
Well, good thing we have a cart. Murdoch, do you think we should go immediately with what went down last night? I think that's a good idea.
Yes. I think that we should just continue moving south.
Last
was-
night?
There was
something
another group.
We can brief you on the way, but I think we should move sooner than later.
I was asleep.
Another group, they were a little bit close. I want to see if they follow us, but they didn't do anything untowards, but we should keep an eye out.
And they were just. You saw them nearby overnight? Or.
Furia saw them first.
Oh.
At first, I thought that actually they were from Daggerford, but it turns out they are specifically after Sarah, part of her symbol deal.
But hopefully we can get the little bit of a jump start, see if they follow. But Sarah, you're worth kind of a pretty penny right now.
I told you, Feria. This isn't my first time being worth a pretty penny. When I was a little girl, they called me 200 Platinum Babe. See, because I was 200 Platinum. My father had to pay a ransom.
You can listen to the story in the cart. I think we should go.
I was
You have
left on the
Let's just say that you have a new world record. Push you up in.
So eventually, as everyone gets loaded up in the cart, and the group of you start heading southward again.
I will specifically be keeping an eye out on the top of the cart for people following us or walking beside us. And I mean, a horse cart moves pretty quickly, but
Yeah.
I will be keeping an eye out for birds that are seemingly always there, anything like that as we move along.
Go ahead and make a perception check.
Can I give you some bardic inspiration for that? Because
I got a
want
nat
you to
20.
Never mind. You know?
It's the second nat 20 tonight, I believe.
Yep. So,
So that's a 26 total.
and so as you are keeping your head on a swivel and just, again, specifically looking for this, I guess, the telltale signs that you're being followed, or anything that's, anything sort of in that vein. You start to notice a little ways ahead of you. As you're turning, looking sideways, looking up, just keeping your head constantly swiveling. Off probably about maybe 10, 15 miles ahead. It's off in the distance a little ways. I should say before we get on that far, that it is a beautiful, clear morning. There's a couple of oddball clouds up in the sky, but for the most part, clear skies, beautiful sunny morning. Then you notice off in the distance, there seems to be a rather large area of this sort of stretching out across the road in front of you, off towards the what's the word I'm looking for? Off towards the woods to the east, the misty forest, is just a large, expansive area of thick, dense fog.
Not poggers.
I start to slow down the carriage just to like a slow walk, not even a trot, just a walk, so we don't arrive before this conversation ends. And I'll lean over. Guys, we got a really big patch of fog up ahead, and I don't think it's suspicious. It's very suspicious.
Is it
It's
magic?
a very clear day. It's not that sort of foggy day. What do you think we should do? Go around it?
I was going to. Snowman.
Is there anyone nearby? And I'll kind of look around to see if anyone is following
Open up
us.
the blinds.
No, that's the only odd thing so far, and that's very suspicious.
Mm.
I think going through it is not a good idea.
I was going to say, how far does it go? I mean, is it a quick sprint through?
I can't really see where it ends. Can I, DM? Like, I'm assuming it's just
It's-
a wall of fog.
It's a little difficult to tell at this point, as you can see it stretched out widthwise in front of you, but it's not like you're coming down a steep hill where you can see clear over the top of it.
Lydia or Art don't happen to have wind walls, do they?
Let me take a look here.
I could come up with a wind wall if you gave me 8 hours, but I don't have it on me.
And is not something Lydia has actively. Let me take a look at Art.
Is this magic? Could we perhaps use one of those spells that begons magic? Artemis, this is magic.
Artemis will give you a little shrug and say, I'd have to be closer.
It's so unnatural that I think it would be magic or some other fabricated. I mean, it's such a clear, hot-looking day. Like, I don't see why else it would be here.
What if it's steam and we've found a hot spring in the middle
We've been this way before. It wasn't here last time.
And Art does not have a wind wall either.
I say go around.
Do we see,
Is it
like,
that sort of
widthwise?
terrain where we could go, like, on field, or is it just, like, forests here?
Sorry.
Nope, so we're
We're still in the Daggerford map.
Oh,
just
good. I
DM.
apologize. I forgot. I thought I dragged you over. So that you have no idea where I was pinging you at. So, yeah. So you guys are. Let me grab my ruler again because now I can't remember. So this is happening. So you guys are right about, just right about here on the trail. Basically,
It's rather
just to the left.
nearby the where we found the stone box with the rings in it, or ring in it.
Yeah, it's just a little south of that.
This is also sort of the direction that arrow came from. I mean, it could be the hills or the forest around here, but
Well, this sounds like a question of, are we avoiding trouble or are we confronting trouble?
I think it would be fun to go and see what these guys are all about.
Honestly,
Why don't-
Yes,
But I don't know if it's a wise idea toting with us the thing that they want.
I for one think that you should just turn me in and we get the platinum and then I just escape.
It's a lot of work.
Uh,
We have a lot of money.
that's
Do we
true.
have platinum?
I'm tired of people coming at us. It's not something I normally go for, but you know what? By gum, let's go after them. That's
Are
what
you-
I
Yeah,
say.
I mean, I think facing something head on is usually the best way to
Well,
deal with
are
it.
we equipped to view things in a fog? It's a little difficult.
You can see in the dark.
Yes, but you can't see through a wall, even if you can see in through a dark.
No, we don't, but maybe we can get closer and Artemis can see if it can be dispelled.
All right,
Alright,
are
so
we
we-
parking far away and walking in, or are we coming up right to it? Or what are we doing here?
The cart gives us a little bit of protection.
But it's also very big and noisy.
I don't want someone to.
I sit up to get the blood back down off my head. And I lean over the edge of the cart again, just surveying the area while I'm up and then back down.
Dylan's vote is take the carriage in because I don't want someone to steal it.
Yeah.
I don't know if it can be, but
And we can move.
Would we know
quickly.
if somebody else could direct the driver, just out of curiosity?
You probably wouldn't be 100% sure, but you also would know that the horses are live animals.
yeah. So
So
they
if
should
somebody just
override
got
the
rid
driver.
of the driver, they could probably steal the carriage.
Or kill the horses.
Or just unhook the horses? And
Right.
Yeah, okay.
So there are definitely ways that they could, well, there are ways they could potentially steal it, and there are definitely ways that they could make it unusable.
Well, if they have anything to do with the symbol, I have a couple of things to talk to them about as well.
I have a feeling if we go in there, there's going to be a lot of fighting and then a lot of talking, not the other way around.
I have
Yes.
no idea what you're talking about.
As soon as I can see them, if they're people, I can shut a good chunk of them down.
Well, I think we're still moving towards that fog as we speak.
What are you trying to say, Maddie? I'm so sorry you keep getting talked over.
They seem to be persistent in chasing us, so I don't think this is going to go away.
I think that's
Good.
very well said.
This is something else entirely, and we're just going to find out what it is.
I say, Furia, that you direct the driver to take us in carefully, and we have our weapons ready. If you want
I
to come
really
in
don't
here,
like pulling the carriage into the fog.
If they have more of those giant arrows, I would like at least a little bit of something in between me and that. But that's a personal preference, I understand.
I mean, we could.
I look at the walls of the carriages like, this is probably not going to hold up a lot.
Not a lot,
We
but
could
it's
pull the
not
cart
my...
to the threshold of the fog at least, and not cross the threshold.
All right, I'll speed up the cart a little bit as I sit back up, and I'll do what Snowmoon suggested and pull it right up to the edge, and sort of off to the side. The back of the carriage sort of facing into the fog, and the horses behind that. Make a little U-turn, and we're here. Everybody ready?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I pull out
Stay
my
in
daggers.
sight. This fog looks thick. Careful, you're in close confines in there. Don't cut art.
I'm
I
going
point
to...
my knives out the window.
I'm gonna click the door, and I'm gonna push it open on my side.
Okay. As a group, you start making your way towards the fog. That is where we'll call an end to tonight's session.
Oh!
As Sarah has already started swinging daggers out a window at the fog.
Just walk into the fog like this.
Lend her arms.
You can't touch me.
I am the knives!
I'm a highly trained
Low dart.
rogue.
I have
Low dart.
magic inspiration!
And then, yeah, so we will be back next week, hopefully with our missing party members. As our
Yeah, I
group
could
is...
really use the big spellcasters.
Yes, that's... Make the DM's life easier next week, please. And, but yeah, next week we will be heading headfirst into the fog to see what is this strange occurrence that they are now finding on this... Well, it used to be a clear day for them, but now they wander in like so many strange survivors in Silent Hill.
Now, I'll tell you, you've got 2 Curse of Strahd veterans in here, so don't try pulling any Barovian shit.
Oh, not
We'll-
this guy again.
We'll speed run that crap so fast. We'll be like, all right, we know how to do this. Hold on.
So yeah, thank you very much for everyone who's been hanging out with us. Thank you again to So Many Games for popping by and raiding us. We are actually going to fire off our own raid and go stop by our friends over at 20 Sides. So we will see you next time, folks. Don't forget, when flashing a ring towards strange children, be careful what you're eating, and don't forget to add your proficiency bonus. Stay with us. You're going to see our stream ending screen in a moment, and then we'll be swinging over to 20 Sides. So see you next time, folks.